Imagine a world where wars are fought not by humans but by machines. No, this isn't a new Terminator movie. We're talking about the real world, where the dawn of artificial intelligence in warfare is upon us. Picture this. It's the late 20th century and defense departments around the globe are toying with the idea of AI. They're starting small, with things like automated systems. These are the toddler steps of AI warfare, like a baby's first word being drone strike. Fast forward a few years and these systems have grown up. They're no longer cute toddlers stumbling around with their first words. Now, they're teenagers. And like all teenagers, they're rebellious, unpredictable, and have a knack for making things explode. Yes, the simple automated systems have evolved into complex autonomous weapons. And if you think your computer crashing during an update is bad, just imagine it controlling a missile. These autonomous weapons are designed to make life or death decisions without human intervention. That's like asking your Roomba to decide which of your household items are trash and which are priceless family heirlooms. Spoiler alert, the Roomba doesn't care, and neither do the weapons. But why the change? Why the leap from human-controlled to autonomous? Well, the answer is simple: speed. In the world of warfare, speed is key. And let's be honest, even the fastest human can't compete with a machine. It's like racing Usain Bolt against a cheetah. Sure, Bolt is fast, but the cheetah has him for lunch. So we've handed over the keys to the gun cabinet to Siri's big, scary cousin. We've given the green light to autonomous weapons, trusting that they'll make the right decisions, that they won't crash mid-update, and that they won't mistake a school for a military base. What could possibly go wrong? Now, I'm no Nostradamus, but when machines start deciding who lives and dies, I'd say we've got a slight problem on our hands. Let's ponder on this for a moment. We're talking about autonomous weapons. Machines programmed to make split-second decisions on the battlefield. I mean, have you ever seen your computer freeze while running too many tabs on your browser? Now, imagine that happening in the middle of a war zone. Not the most comforting thought, is it? And then there's the issue of misuse. Remember that time you accidentally ordered a year's supply of toilet paper because your virtual assistant misunderstood you? Now replace that with a drone misunderstanding coordinates. Suddenly, that toilet paper blunder doesn't seem so bad, huh? We're not just talking about small errors here. These are potentially life-altering geopolitical landscape-shifting mistakes. The risk of an autonomous weapon malfunctioning or being misused could lead to an escalation of conflict, possibly even sparking a war. Kind of like when you accidentally like your ex's 2-year-old Instagram post at 2 in the morning, but on a slightly larger scale. But let's not forget the most significant danger of all. The danger that we, as humans, are no longer in control. We're handing over the reins to machines, allowing them to decide who lives and who dies. That's like asking your cat to do your taxes. It's just not going to end well. I mean, we can barely trust AI with our online shopping carts. You search for a pair of socks once, and suddenly your recommended products are filled with foot creams and toenail clippers. If we can't trust AI with our shopping, should we really trust it with our missiles? And let's not even get started on the potential for hacking. You can bet that autonomous weapons aren't immune. If your Roomba has ever tried to vacuum up your cat, you know why leaving war to the machines might not be the best idea. Who's accountable when a machine goes rogue? The programmer who coded it, the general who deployed it, the manufacturer who built it, or maybe the intern who spilled coffee on the control panel? We're standing at the crossroads of a profound ethical dilemma. How do we manage accountability in an age of autonomous weapons? If you thought deciding who's to blame for not replacing the toilet paper was tough, strap in because we're about to dive into the murky waters of ethics in AI warfare. Let's start with proportionality. That's a fancy word for ensuring the force used in warfare is proportionate to the threat. Now imagine explaining that to a robot. Hey, Robo-Rambo, you can't use a bazooka to swat a fly. But who's to say the robot, with its advanced algorithms, won't deem the fly a significant threat? Maybe it's seen the fly and doesn't want to take any chances. Then there's discrimination, which in the context of warfare means distinguishing between combatants and non-combatants. It's like knowing the difference between your annoying neighbor Bob, who blasts music at 2 a.m., and the local Girl Scout selling cookies. You might want to retaliate against Bob, but you'd never harm the Girl Scout. But can a robot make that distinction? And if it can't, who's at fault? Now I know what you're thinking. We're still arguing about who let the dogs out, and now we have to figure out who to blame for killer robots? Yes, it sounds absurd, and yet, here we are. So let's circle back to our initial question. If a robot goes rogue and commits a war crime, who's held accountable? The programmer, the general, the manufacturer, or the intern who spilled coffee on the control panel? If a robot is put on trial, who pays its lawyer fees? So where are we headed? Are we looking at a future where wars are fought entirely by robots, while humans sit back and watch the mayhem from the comfort of their couches? Well, it's quite possible. The future of AI in warfare is a rapidly unfolding chapter. It's like we're all in a sci-fi movie, but without the option to hit pause or munch on popcorn. We're talking about more autonomous weapons, more precision, and less human intervention. Imagine a world where drones don't just deliver your Amazon packages but decide the fate of nations. Now I can just hear you thinking, well, that could be efficient, and you're not wrong. But this isn't a simple game of chess. There are lives at stake, and that's where we need to tread carefully. So what does this mean for us? It's clear we need international regulations. We need to set rules for this game before it gets out of hand. But let's be honest here, folks. We can't even agree on climate change regulations. Now, we're expected to come up with rules for robot wars? It's like asking a cat and a dog to write a treaty on who gets the bigger share of treats. As we move forward, it's critical to remember that while technology advances, so must our ethics. We need to ensure that these autonomous weapons aren't just smart, but also ethical. Because let's face it, no one wants to be on the receiving end of a drone with a bad attitude. We're standing at the precipice of a new era, an era where AI and warfare are intertwined in a dance that could be as beautiful as it is terrifying. The question is, can we lead this dance, or will we be swept away in its whirlwind? While we're at it, why not hit that subscribe button too? I mean, who wouldn't want regular updates on the impending robot apocalypse, right? It's like your own personal early warning system. Are we moving towards a world where robots do all the fighting while we humans sit back and watch? Or will we keep control of our weapons, making the tough decisions ourselves? So, what do you think? Are we headed for a future of automated warfare, or will we keep our weapons firmly in human hands? Drop a comment below and let's get the conversation started. If you see a drone delivering a pizza, it might just be an undercover war machine. Stay vigilant.